Wake up, and stay woke. Cause this is the Ball Hawk Sports Talk with your boy, B Brown, ESQ, aka the Ball Hawk, aka the Mouth of the South. This is the place where sports, business, and entertainment collide. Raw, so come get you a spoonful, like some grits with butter. You know how we do it in the South, y'all. Make sure you do not talk your feelings. Strap your seatbelt and enjoy the ride. Come on, let's go. All right, y'all know what it is. It's the Ball Hawk Sports Talk with your boy, B Brown, ESQ, a.k.a. the Ball Hawk, a.k.a. the Mouth of the South, a.k.a. I'm dropping stuff in the studio, a.k.a. Mr. Excessive Celebration. What's going on, y'all? It's another Friday. You know who we got in the building. It is the Maverick herself, Miss Majestic Maya. You know she here, y'all. And we got the Maestro, superhero DJ John Quick. I ain't gonna play the music again. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? Happy Friday, man. What's up?
Oh, Lord. We're good.
We're good. We're good, but we're not good because it's been that kind of week. Today's episode, Wanton Endangerment. 2 words that most people don't use in their normal day in and day out vernacular that we've all had to use this week. Wanton Endangerment. And we are coming to you from Wanton Endangementville, because we all know that this week, I don't know if it was surprising news. We can be honest and say it wasn't surprising, because it seemed as though the entire city of Louisville, the whole state of Kentucky, was already ready as they brought in reinforcement and they were preparing for what seemed to be the inevitable, which was disappointing news. And only one of the officers was charged, and he was charged. That was the one that was already dismissed from his role as an officer. He was charged with wanton endangerment. No one was charged for the murder of Breonna Taylor. And so at the outset here, regardless of what you believe, and we'll get into what you believe one way or another, but let's just take a very brief moment of silence. Not only for Breonna Taylor, but for Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who also Saturday night, since the last Ball Hawk Sports Talk, lost her life. So for both of them, not to conflate, because they're 2 very different situations, but just out of respect, let's give them both just a brief moment of silence. The news of Ruth Bader Ginsburg dying is one of those moments you're going to remember where you were. Celebrating her life, but also dealing with the inevitable that means that we're going to have some malarkey going on. And sure enough, before her body could be cold, the malarkey started. So let's hop in, y'all. This is going to be one of those Ball Hawk Sports Talks that we're going to talk about sports, business, entertainment, politics, life. How y'all feeling as Black folk? I got a call from a coworker that literally just asked me, sort of like, man, how you doing? And it felt good to hear that. So I'm asking you guys, how y'all holding up under all of this craziness?
I'm tired. Exhaustion, the level of exhaustion, the mental exhaustion, I think people don't understand. They think physically it's something, but the mental exhaustion takes it to a whole nother level, on top of us being quarantined, everything going on in the world. So I can see how people are just like saying fuck it, bucket, and just walling out. One point that I wanted to make was the wanton endangerment. Like, when you see it, the first thing I think of is like, who ordering Chinese food? What hell of rule is this? What law is this? Wanton endangerment. I'm like, we got some damn fortune cookies with that shit? Like, what is going on here? And it just goes to show
that's one of those moments as a lawyer, and you had those terms and we just throw around. You just shake your head and you're embarrassed that you got to deal with all of these terms, because everyone's shaking it. No one knows what that means.
Literally, they found a way to not indict these police officers for the murder of a black woman. That's all it comes down to. If it was a loitering citation, something, anything to prevent giving this black woman some sort of justice. Now, she's not going to get justice because she's already dead.
Right, absolutely. But at least her family, you would hope that her family would feel some.
Now, the city awarded the family. They didn't give the family. But I hate when people say, oh, they just gave the family. No. They lost a life. Okay.
Right,
the city awarded $12 million to her family. And they knew they fucked up. Why are you going to settle if you fucked up? If you didn't do anything wrong? Exactly. So in order to save face, we're going to give you this money. But on paper, legally, we're going to protect ourselves to just say, we broke a couple of laws, but we're not responsible for her murder.
That's a different system. That's civil. The criminal system, the criminal court system, I think disappointed most of us. Superhero DJ John Quick, the maestro. How you feeling, man?
Like I said, I was talking to somebody earlier. I'm just tired, man. Like it's the same crap, different story, same crap. And just the fact that her name wasn't even on the indictment, like it wasn't even being considered, to be honest. And he tried to dress that shit up as that dude. I don't even want to say his name, the AG from Kentucky.
Yeah,
he tried to dress that shit up as best ways possible. But at the end of the day, you are freaking Mitch McConnell's basically his son-in-law. And you just tap dancing, boy. You tap dancing like that coon, that raccoon in those gifts. That's what you're doing, man.
So I know him. I happen to know the AG, and because of my work and what I do, I happen to know him. And I think we are just so politically, man. We're so messed up. We are the Bloods and the Crips when it comes to politics. And this is not to make any excuses for him. I'm going to go ahead and say it because despite his politics, I'm going to say personally, I think he's a good brother. Played for Louisville. I knew him before he got the role, and I did know that he was closely connected with Mitch McConnell. I went to his swearing in. A black Republican AG, while we aren't politically aligned, I think that if we do want to be able to stand on the statement that we are not a homogenous group, we need conservatives. We need Republicans. We need black folk who look like us to think ideologically differently. So personally, I think, I'm going to say that because my friendship with him makes me say that. But man, it hurts, man. It hurt. I just don't understand it.
What I'll say, Bob, your friend fucked up. How about that?
He did. He absolutely did.
He's a shaboogie ass. Shaboogie. All he does is dance to he dances to the beat. First of all, I can't trust a man with a hairline and no lip line like that. Like, yo, what's up with your lips? I'm like, this is why you kiss that paper lip fucking Karen. You know what? No one gives a shit about you. You drew the line where you stand in history, and it will not be favorable to you. Because at the end of the day, half of these cops in Louisville and all throughout Kentucky don't know who your black ass is. Don't think they won't pull you out the car and rough you the fuck up until you disclose that you're the AD, the AG of Kentucky, and yeah.
Well, at least if y'all ever see him, y'all can say that I said on a public platform that I know him, and personally, he's a good brother. Professionally, I think he absolutely messed up. But professionally, first of all, courts, the way the whole legal system is set up, the judicial system, it shouldn't be impacted by politics, but it absolutely is. And, he was between a rock and a hard place because the one thing that you cannot deny is that if you were going to be associated with Mitch McConnell, if you're going to be associated, he spoke at the RNC in this political climate to take any position that was less than pro police officer. He wasn't going to do it. He just was not going to do it.
How can you hate yourself so much? It's like this innate self-hatred, or this the whole, I know I'm black, but you want to be so hard. do everything to not be black that you go so far right that you're just like, what the fuck happened to you? And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get married, and I believe in justice, and no, you don't. Sit your fucking boogie ass. And I hope when you have those mixed up ass brown kids that they enjoy everything that every other black boy and girl faces in the world. Because what you think, because your kid's gonna be quote unquote like your son's gonna have a fucked up hairline and they're gonna be dark.
Look, but that does bring me to this then, because I'm seeing a lot of the comments, and everyone is tired and we're fed up and perplexed, really, man. And it does make you ask, like, what is it? What's the price of success? What's the cost of it? I've heard people ask, like, what is it to, sort of the biblical verse, to gain the whole world but lose your soul? And that's what it seems like we're seeing right here on display with the first black attorney general in the state of Kentucky happens to be a Republican.
You know what it reminds me of, Bob? It reminds me of like back in the day, when slavery was in session, when they would pick the black slave to be like kind of the overseer or whatever, and the black slave would accept it and play that role. That's what it feels like. It feels like he took that role. He took that role against his people, and again, he tried to dance like Dancing with the Stars, damn near. But nah, bro, we see right through you, man.
But the good news is, I also happen to know, a fine fraternity brother of ours, my man Ben Crump, is also in the spotlight. Post Breonna Taylor, that brother, and all his southern accent. That's a Florida boy. My man, Bill Parent said, Crump. Yeah, Benjamin Crump, but who is the family's attorney? Benjamin.
Good brother.
Yeah, who's the family's attorney? He a very good brother and a very good bruh. But my man, Bill Parrish, my man, he messed with him. He said, man, did he just say the word ambulance? And I said to him, in Florida, baby, that's how we pronounce it. Ambulance. Yeah. Don't call the ambulance unless it's a real serious injury. Don't call no ambulance. You know what I'm saying? We don't need no ambulance around here. But it also reminds me sort of the political discussion related to AG Daniel Cameron brings us then to this, what should not be political, but what has become political. RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, seems as though what was discussed and agreed upon by our politicians in 2016, when Obama had a chance to select a Supreme Court justice in an election year, somehow, some way, we are on the other side of that. And I just want to play quickly the words of someone who has been the highlight of this week for me. Give me 2 seconds. But it's been interesting, man, because it's like, how do you do something so crazy that we all saw what you said, we heard what you said, but they're so bold right now. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. They're so bold right now that it's crazy, man. I just don't know where we're going with this country, man. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know where we're going with this country. Sometimes it's scary. A lot of times it's scary. Let's watch this clip and then we'll get into the RBG discussion.
Judge Scalia dies in 2016. The primary process is ongoing. If you look back in 100 years, nobody has been replaced under that circumstance. If you listen to what Joe Biden said in Bush 41, you should hold it over to the next election. Joe is right a lot. So I felt like I was doing the traditional thing there. When it came to Sotomayor and Kagan, I thought I did the traditional thing. Now I'll tell you this. This may make you feel better, but I really don't care. If an opening comes in the last year of President Trump's term and the primary process is started, we'll wait to the next election. And I've got a pretty good chance of being the judiciary.
You're on the record.
Yeah.
All right.
Hold the tape. North Korea.
Hold the tape, he said, y'all. Hold the tape.
Hold his sexuality too, because he is a closet homosexual. But we're not.
I think Lindsay closet home. I don't even know how you get. Where does that come from? How you know that?
What? How you doing?
I never heard that.
Y'all never heard of that?
Man,
Slide that
name
tape.
mean Lindsay.
I watch C-SPAN, honey. Yeah, he is a legendary down in DC.
All right, so but I don't know if he's in the closet there, but he's out of the closet in terms of being a liar. Because how he said, look, man, what do y'all think about this? Because Lindsey Graham is now the head cheerleader for moving forward, and he claims that the Judge Kavanaugh hearing is what changed his position, but that interview was held after the Kavanaugh thing. So what do y'all think about that quickly, man? Because he's running a hot race, and there's a brother running against him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cheering for, man.
Yeah. It's called hypocrisy at its finest. They're a bunch of hypocrites.
Yeah.
They're in a position right now where Mitch O'Connell runs shit from behind the scenes. That fucking turtle. I just don't know how he does it. Like when he was a kid, he had to use March of Dimes. They should just let this old evil ass die. See, that's what happens. Okay.
Got him.
Got him. This is what happens. You know, he's just evil. He's evil personified, and he's like a roach. He's not going to die. So you have to do something. You have to be just as evil as him to get him out. Nothing is good about him. They're just going to just do something. Hopefully he the next one that the Grim Reaper taps on, because he ain't shit good about him.
Well, I think he fell and broke his shoulder yesterday or something.
He should have broke his fucking neck.
But people saying that's just not enough. They want to. My man Alvin Miller. What's up, Alvin? Alvin says Lou and this guy are different. I appreciate you keeping me honest, my brother. And what he's saying about that is I called my coach out, but I did say personally I will always love Lou Holtz, although I disagree with his use of those words as they apply to Donald Trump. I don't have as enough of a relationship with AG Daniel Cameron, but I am just being honest. I know the brother, and personally I like him, but professionally I absolutely hate the decision. And that's just the truth of the matter. And I hope that any of y'all that hate my ideological stances will at least in a crowded, hot room stand up for me personally. That's all I'm saying is personally I like the brother. That's all I'm saying. I know I like him. That's as far as I'm willing to go. I think it's a horrible decision, a poor reflection on justice, and a tragedy for Breonna Taylor's family.
It's not justice.
I got one thing to say about your man. I know that's your friend, but
he's nuts. Got him. Got him.
Hey, that's about right. Look, man.
Wait, that's the wrong soundbite because he ain't got no nuts.
Oh my God!
I can't stand up for him. Beyond that, I said what I said. I know him. That's it. That's all I'm going with. I'm not defending the indefensible. All right, y'all. Look.
You're not gonna defend him.
I ain't defending that. Him and Mitch McConnell sort of look alike. How do a young black dude and an old white, like, how do they look alike? They sort of do.
But they're both evil. It's that evil doesn't discriminate. It hits that white. It got his old tortoise neck and shit. Watch that fucking fucked up hairline, no lip having. He gonna get it too. He's a fucking these are some fucking low down, disgusting fucking pig ass humans. They were born in the slop. They're gonna die in the fucking slop.
In the slop.
With what is that? Asparagus scented piss on their fucking throats.
Straight
by
up.
yours truly.
Straight up. Lindsay, we caught you in a lie, Lindsay. Mr. Lindsey Graham, we caught you in a lie. I just wanted to make sure we did not let that point escape us. That's a bold-faced lie. You gave a scenario, said, I'm on record, keep the tape, or whatever you said, and yet and still, you've completely done an about-face and changed your position. And that's why people feel the way they do about politicians. I don't know if you guys saw. I don't know if you saw. So 20 years. It's been 20 years since Remember the Titans. Quickly, What's your favorite sports movie? Anybody, give us your favorite sports movie. That's one of my favorite. Remember the Titans.
One of my favorite movies.
Rocky's one of your favorite. What you got, DJ John? Quick favorite sports movie.
Brian's Song.
All right,
that's sad.
All right, Brian's Song. I like that one. I like that one. My man, we got a special guest in the building coming up, and he also agrees. Brian's Song. Brian's Song is Brian Piccolo Stadium. He went to St. Thomas Aquinas. You know how I am about the illustrious St. Thomas Aquinas of the greater Fort Lauderdale, Florida area. You know. But it was really about Gale Sayers. It was really about a relationship that moved beyond race. And so it was a beautiful, beautiful story. And one that I need now. And so is Remember the Titans. One that we need now. Right side, left side, because it's going to take that level of humanity getting beyond race, y'all, where we can have real conversations. If you can think that a 26-year-old first responder losing their life is justified and not bat an eye, I don't, man, the humanity, brother. I'm scared about humanity in this country right now. That's what's scaring me, man. So, hey, man, get your ammo, load up, protect your family, and do what you do.
Guns are sold out. Well, if you have a 9mm, that ammo was sold out. It's on back order. I know because I tried to order some. Also, rest in peace to the late great Gale Sayers.
Absolutely.
Who we lost this week.
Yeah, we did. Man.
He was on Kansas.
He was on like a 2 or 3 year descent for dementia too, man. So it's tough to watch him go out like that. But phenomenal football player. Let's see. My man says bingo long. I see 6 man. I see Rudy. Coach Carter.
Coach Carter was great.
Coach Carter was a good one too.
Minus Ashanti Ho, non-acting ass. Gorgeous, but she can't act.
Remember the Titans actually probably my updated favorite. Yeah,
it was a good one. What's the one that they just updated with Michael Irvin playing football? The
longest shot.
That was good.
That shit was funny, but Rocky was just
my girl Tanya says 42 in the Express, which was about our man from Syracuse. What's the running back name?
Earl. He ran with Jim Brown.
He was after Jim Brown. The Express. I can't think of his name. That's
because he died at 26.
He died very young. Yeah, very young. And why can't I think of his name? That's bad. But I want to see what other movies they have in here. Then we're gonna move forward, man. I really liked Remember the Titans. Very, very, very. And then of course. I've gotten a few 30 for 30s, but one that comes to mind, 30 for 30, the U just came to mind.
Ernie Davis.
That's bad. I couldn't remember his name. Wildcats. I like Wildcats too.
On the 30 for 30s though?
30 for 30?
Because all of them are great. I put them in a separate category because they're, those are like documentaries. And
those are good. Hoosiers. I like that one. Hoosiers was a good one.
Adaptations, basically.
Yeah, I gotta put some of these on. Hoosiers was a good one. Wildcats was a great. Wildcats, I like the Wildcats. That was kind of about sports, but still good. There was some good ones, man. There was some good ones. Rudy, everybody loves Rudy. All right, man. Look, we're gonna shift. We're gonna shift because we have to.
Boring ass movie. Oh,
that was a good movie. We're gonna shift because we have to. We got to get into some sports. It's been heavy. We started off heavy. We talked about RBG. We talked about Breonna Taylor. We talked about Lindsey and his line. So let's get into some sports, man, because the Dolphins played the Jaguars last night. And I know Maya was tuned in, eating her popcorn because those are two great teams. And she loves the NFL. What did you think about the game, Maya? No? You didn't watch the game? Okay. All right.
Fuck that league.
Yeah. In the game, the real storyline. While the Miami Dolphins.
Got him.
Hey, I know neither one of y'all watching the NFL. Let me live for a second. It was Thursday night. It was 2 Florida teams, and they're the worst teams in the NFL. But the Dolphins beat. Hey, and Tom Brady went over there with all that hype. They might be in the running for the 3rd worst team. It's just a bunch of bad NFL in Florida right now. But all my Dolphins, shout out, man, because y'all been sorry for a long time. At least y'all won last night. I can't stand the Dolphins. I've been hating the Dolphins for a long time. I'm consistent. But they won last night. But the real battle last night, I told y'all it was going to happen. Beards versus mustache. Ryan Fitzpatrick, they call him Fitzmagic, with the beard against my man Gardner Minshew with the mustache. Now, the beard's one lad. Gardner Minshew, that's the quarterback of Jacksonville Jaguars. He got the mustache. He got the mustache going on. I told y'all mustaches are taking over. We lost last night, but here we are, baby. Handlebars and all. We go win today, baby. Yeah, baby. Hey, I'm telling you, it's a mustache world, baby. It's a mustache world. In addition, the NFL, we got Lamar Jackson playing Patrick Mahomes on Monday Night Football. 2 black quarterbacks, young. They're the future of the NFL. No, they ain't even the future. They're the present. They're the current thing of the NFL. Who y'all got, man? Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be a shootout. I know y'all not going to watch the game. I got you. But there's 2 black quarterbacks that are the pinnacle of their organizations and their franchises. Who y'all got winning the game? And
I look forward to the highlights on ESPN, but that will not be on my television viewing menu on Monday, as you know.
Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes.
Give my shirt, bro. That's all you need to know. That's the black quarterback I want to see.
I got it. And look, after Tyrod Taylor, which is crazy, Tyrod Taylor, the freaking doctor punctured his lung. I don't know. Hey, Tyrod Taylor, man, either he got the worst luck imaginable because he always makes way for some new white quarterback. It happened. It do. It's some weird injury. It happened in Cleveland, and that's how Baker touchdown maker got his opportunity. And now it happened again in San Diego. Or LA. If you were wondering if there was a conspiracy, just to throw it out there, this would be one because now Justin Herbert's going to get his start. And how does a team doctor administering pain medicine puncture a brother's lung? I'm just saying, I don't know if you got some conspiracy music back there, Maestro, but I'll create more. That's a conspiracy, dog. But now that Tyrod Taylor is hurt, will Colin Kaepernick get a chance? Do you think?
No, the NFL is like the city of Louisville. We fucked up, we'll settle, but we're not going to attach your name to anything we do because we're dickheads.
They need to hire Colin Kaepernick, put the man. I was going to say young man. He's not even a young man, though. He's a seasoned man. They need to put that man in the front office. They would help him out tremendously. My man Dwayne Williamson is going with the Chiefs 35-31. He going team light skin. I'm going team dark skin. Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens. Come out there and do their thing. You know where Lamar Jackson's from. He's from Broward County. Pompano. If you know anything about the no, they make them hard, baby. They make them hard down there. You cross them tracks if you want to. Show them what it is, Lamar Jackson. It's going to be a Broward County show on Monday Night Football.
Bobby, you are the most podunk country educated man I've ever met.
Y'all ain't never heard of Pompano? Y'all ain't never heard of Pompano?
I've heard of Pompano Beach, but Amberlands, like what you say?
When you add the beach, you colonizing it. When you add the beach, you whitewashing it. I'm saying,
let me tell you something. I expect that crusty ex-coach of yours to Amber Wans because of that shitty fucking lisp in his mouth. I mean, my damn.
All right, look, we got a guest too, man. Our guest today, I'm teeing it up perfectly, and I didn't even know the connection, but our guest was a part of the recruiting process for my man Lamar Jackson at Louisville, which worked out pretty well. Walked away with a little piece of hardware, if you know what I'm talking about. Heisman on that hoe. Broward County, baby. I'm proud of where I'm from. Shout out to my daddy, Willie D, the original Willie D, Willie Brown. Shout out to my daddy, man. My dad worked for forever, still does sometimes. Auto paint and body shop. I don't talk about my father as much as I should. Still alive, still rocking. They call him.
You look just like him.
I look just like him. They call him Slick. And any issues we had in our relationship are long gone. That's my daddy, baby. I love him. He worked in Pompano, Florida forever. At Westside, I ain't gonna give him the shout out, but at a paint and body shop, he worked there forever. And so I know Pompano well. So Lamar Jackson's success, his Heisman, his early success, his MVP, his continued success in the league is just like mine, baby, because I spent some time in the know. All right, so I got to do some NBA before we get to the finale because this week is, and this is the first time I'm going to tee it up. We talked about the 30 for 30, the U, but this week, to me, is the essence of college football. I don't care where both the programs are, but you got Miami versus Florida State. When you think about when college football took off from being just a step towards the NFL, it took us, I think, like in the late 80s, early 90s, it went from being that to really being professional football. And I connected to those University of Miami teams. And then when Miami and Florida State used to battle, you know, the things came out that talked about all of the states that produce NFL talent. Florida is number one, of course. But Florida State versus Miami is quite the game. And we're going to tee it up. Today's missing link, our guest, is somebody that knows that rivalry like none other. Somebody that lit up the scoreboards. And I ain't telling you which team. Just stay tuned. But before that, I got to get into a little bit of NBA. We've got the LA Lakers and the Denver Nuggets. That series is at 3-1. How is it that the Lakers wrote a love letter, y'all, to the NBA and talked about LeBron's fouls? I know y'all both are LeBron fans. but this is why LeBron gets the knock. This is why people call him a whiny little baby, because could you imagine Phil Jackson writing a letter talking about Jordan ain't getting no calls or Kobe ain't getting no. They wrote a letter to the NBA. Dear NBA. Imagine how the letter goes. Dear NBA. LeBron his feelings are hurt that he ain't getting no calls. What y'all think about that? Come on, man.
Wait, first of all, hold on. Because you're part of that Jordan hive that consistently shits on LeBron James. Michael Jordan, let me tell you, David Stern coddled Michael Jordan like he fucking gave birth to him. Don't sit back and Michael Jordan was dirty on the court. Now, he wasn't Isaiah Thomas dirty because that motherfucker was just filthy. But Michael Jordan got so many calls to go his way throughout his career. So y'all gonna get on LeBron about flopping? Your Jordan hive, y'all need to shut the entire fuck up. What's good for the goose or the goat is good for the gander. I'm tired of y'all. Y'all getting on my fucking nerves with that.
Here's
the
deal. Jordan used to get mad calls.
Yeah.
But I don't remember the Chicago Bulls literally writing a letter, sending an email to the NBA talking about, yo, my man ain't going to the foul line enough. Like
that's a good point. Look at read that comment though. Read the comment by the good brother. Read that comment.
LeBron didn't even need that. Like, yo, come on, man. Like that you know what that told me? That told me that they actually they're really worried about the Nuggets. And to be honest, I picked the Lakers 4-1. So they may be worried about the Nuggets. I wasn't. I thought the Nuggets, I think they're a great team, but they're not, primetime Lakers good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I just felt like it wasn't necessary. I'm a LeBron fan. I'm a Jordan fan, but that rubbed me the wrong way. Like, really? Like,
that's all I'm saying about LeBron.
Situation
man.
that has nothing to do with him.
It doesn't.
Janine Buss,
because they specifically said LeBron James is not going to the foul line.
Right. And here's my thing, Maya. While it wasn't his decision to write the letter,
no, it wasn't.
It just says something about sort of, I don't know, man. But my man Gary,
I'm like, what?
Gary is right though.
LeBron was going to, when LeBron puts his head down, he's either going to get fouled or he's going to score. It's just a matter of him doing that. And I guess the complaint was they said he was doing it and he wasn't getting enough calls. And that's cool. It's one thing for the coach to just say it in a press conference, but to actually go through the proper channels at the NBA, that's no level.
You got a paper trail, dog, of saying my man ain't getting no.
It's not on him.
It is in the sense that you wouldn't feel necessary. I don't think, as a coach, if I'm coaching Michael Jordan, I wouldn't feel it necessary to write a letter because all I'll say is, Mike, we got to be more aggressive.
Yeah.
But now the bro, Gary Jason Lewis is right. He says Phil didn't write a letter, but he used the media and post-game interviews.
I'm cool with that.
And I'm cool with that. To me, that's subliminal. I want a subliminal shot. Don't be writing no letter. No letter. That's just anyway.
It's more on the coach than anybody because he was like, "We going through the proper channels." I'm like,
right.
Come on, coach. Like, you making your man look bad. That's basically
looking real bad. All right, so we got.
I would be mad at the coach. I'll be like, "Yo, what you doing, bro?"
We got a sprint. We got a sprint. So I'm gonna pivot and go quickly and say I think from a TV exec standpoint, it would have been a nightmare to have Miami versus Denver. So this might work out. Miami, who's also up 3-1. Tyler Hero, baby, get with it. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. Tyler Hero,
white guy.
Let's go. He white, but
they call him Bill Mamba.
Yeah, he bucket, baby.
I'm
Tyler
not applauding
Hero,
any white anything.
I think
he's dope.
I think Miami.
You know how they picked out his jersey? You know what's on the back of his jersey? Black Lives Matter. And the way he explained it was just so dope in terms of how he came to choosing that out of all the, particular, logos. They, not the logos, the phrases they gave it, the NBA players a chance to wear. He specifically picked Black Lives Matter because he was like, yo, what affects my teammates affects me. He goes, I grew up with black folks, basically.
Yep, and I love it.
That white guy in the park that we be like, yo,
you gotta get it. He gonna run. I think that Miami versus the Lakers gives you a different storyline, an obvious storyline, and we'll see where it goes. But the NBA is definitely back. I do like the fact that they have been so involved in social justice. Their response, if you see their response to Breonna Taylor's decision related to Breonna Taylor and the pain related to thereto, Dak Prescott, everybody knows I hate the Cowboys, but Dak Prescott has been very vocal since the decision. And it's just been good to see.
He the same one 2 years ago. We not going.
I'm judging you for now. I'm judging for now. He didn't have to say anything, and he did. I'm not saying that we forgive him for everything he did in the past, but he's been very vocal over the last 2 days. And I'll say
2 whole days over the past 4 years when the line was drawn in the sand. He had every opportunity to do the right thing, but his fucking line-toting ass going to side with Jerry Jones. No, I'm not going to kneel and I'm going to do that. Man, if he don't get his fucking confused ass on,
let the brother get his money first. He ain't got his check yet. Let him get his money first.
He ain't shit.
He got to get his money first.
What'd you say, John?
John freezing up on us a little. I'll say this. Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal also took a very interesting position last night, basically saying that we should not conflate the Breonna Taylor story with let me bring him out because he's frozen on us. We should not conflate the Breonna Taylor story with George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and of the like. I think he's back. Okay. You back there?
Yeah, what were you gonna say about Dick Prescott?
What was I gonna say?
These nuts.
All right, look, he got it. Let the man get his check first. I'll say this, man. I'll say this, and then we'll get on because this is also a moment. Y'all realize that my man, what's going on, Mr. Wilkerson, Sam Wilkerson, who is also one of the people that I look up to. His son Keith Wilkerson was 2 years ahead of me. But when he said play football with your dad, he was a bad man. The mighty Murray Bulldogs. That's the first time I heard of the mighty Murray Bulldogs. I need to hear that story, Mr. Wilkerson. Let me know, because my dad tell me he was a bad man. I want to make sure I get another account. According to him, he was bad. So I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you dropping that knowledge on us. All right, y'all, because we got to get ready to get out of here. So I'm going to go finally, and I'm going to use the whole idea of Remember the Titans, because I don't know if you guys saw Remember the Titans, attitude reflects leadership. Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley, their take was very interesting. But leadership, I'm thinking of politics. You didn't like it. We'll get to it next week. Something tells me they're gonna have to answer to it. So next week we'll get to it. But
Charles Barkley ain't shit. Now that's a shaboogie ass nigga. But
so here we go. In terms of politics, did you guys see the video? Get your booty to the pole. Where in Atlanta, there were adult exotic dancers who in Florida, I'm gonna give y'all the pronunciation. If you know somebody in Florida, it's how we say the word. Scripples, Skrippe. I mean, I would end it in an A. Scripple. The Scripples came out and had actually a pretty good PSA about get your booty to the pole. They were using stripping and exotic dancing. I didn't have an issue with it.
Of course you didn't.
I mean, no, from not even from that standpoint. Not my ratchet big ratchet. I mean, I'm putting on my political involvement, my civic engagement hat.
Cue up why you lying meme.
No, seriously. If you watch the video, these young ladies not only were good dancers, but they had a very sound, solid take on it. And they were basically saying, like, if you don't like certain things, like they were talking about the criminal justice system. And we started off talking about AG Daniel Cameron. Well, if you don't like that, then you got to those are elected positions. You got to get to the polls and make sure that the people that are making the laws and enforcing the laws don't look at you as anything less than equal. And look, maybe you didn't like the approach, and I've seen some women take issue with the fact that here are these strippers. There was one scene that the lady had a vote on her gluteus maximus while it was bouncing up and down. But at the same time,
how many times did you watch that clip, Bobby?
Current count is 184, but it's just because my thing froze and I couldn't get to 300 as soon as my Wi-Fi.
Wait, one last thing. You said sound judgment. The sound, was that happen to be a gluteus maximus clapping? Was that the sound judgment?
All right, y'all. Look, this part we didn't get to a lot of the stuff that I wanted to talk about because this has been quite the week for HBCUs. Grambling State got the #1 quarterback in New York, which created its own little dialogue in my page. But Jackson State University introduced their new coach. And it was an introduction like no other. He was strutting out like a peacock, baby. He was strutting out like a peacock. He came out that thing, man. And congratulations to Jackson State for getting their new coach, which happens to be primetime Deion Sanders, Hall of Famer. Congratulations to them. And he has since, I think I've heard rumored, hired Terrell Owens and Warren Sapp.
That's not true.
Not true. Okay. Well, that's why you can't repeat it. That's why I said rumored. I qualified it. I hope he does hire some of those brothers on his staff.
Alabama State.
That's what you want.
Get some HBCU music.
HBCU. Show them the love, baby. They deserve the love.
Let's shake your money maker. Don't let that money maker.
Hey.
Shake that money maker.
But just like we thought, when we talked about John Thompson, just like we thought Georgetown was an HBCU at one point in your life, you thought that the U was an HBCU because you watched that football team.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Look, you see these brothers with some swagger like no other. Hey, if what's the thing? What's the swagger? The little spray. If the swagger was smart, Axe, but there's a one called, I think, called swagger. If they were smart, they would go get them brothers from the University of Miami. Because now I chose not to go, but I grew up raised on orange and green. Whole room painted orange and green. If you are a Miami fan, if you know a Miami fan, you need to connect them right now. Make sure you put them in the mentions, because our next segment with the missing link is someone that was the highlight of the swagger. Somebody that, while Deion Sanders was proud as a peacock, this particular guy was just as flashy, man. When I tell you a bad brother, whole room orange and green. I watched this player like none other. He wore 36. He's been called the ancient touchdown god of the Orange Bowl. Y'all welcome the missing link for today's show. No other than my man LT Lamar Thomas. What's up, dog? What you doing?
What's happening? Enjoying the show. It's been this has been a great show. I've really enjoyed this show.
Hey man,
y'all gonna make me have to. Y'all gonna make me have to move out of Kentucky, man. You know I live in Lexington.
Live in the heart of the baby. It's going down. Well, first and foremost, in all seriousness, I pray for you and your family. I know
Me too.
it's been crazy there, man. So first and foremost, I'm praying for your family. And now let's get into some foolery, baby. Because I see you wearing a lot of orange and green this week. What a 305 is in the building. Can you tell us? Can you tell us what your prediction is? Hold on. Before I even get started, man, I gotta do one more thing. Before we get started with the interview. I gotta do one more thing, baby, because I think it just makes the point. Y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. Y'all gonna see why they called him the touchdown guard. They called this man the touchdown guard for some very good reason. Let me get my audio right. We're gonna watch this one. Hold on. All right, here we go, y'all.
Uh-oh. We got Tech Bob on the job.
Oh my God.
16 to 10, Miami. A lot of them.
They didn't send out that PSA that Bobby's talking about, right? They didn't have that complexion, I don't think.
They were all different complexions up there.
Here we go.
Well, that would be a penalty. That would be a penalty right now, Bobby. You know that, right?
I know. We can't leave.
Look at Gino Toretta. Wow.
Just let it go.
The touchdown guard in the building, y'all. My man LT, what's up, bro? Now that was ranked. That's ranked one of the top plays. That's ranked one of the top plays all time. University of Miami. That was against Florida State to win the game winner. But you had another one on your man T Buck where you took your helmet off. You were the touchdown guard, University of Miami. You wore 36, man. For all of us long, lanky receivers, brother. You made it cool to be tall, skinny, and flashy, man. Welcome to the Ball Hall Sports Talk, bro.
I appreciate it, dog. I wish I was still skinny, but as you see, I bumped up a little bit. I look normal now.
That's called maturity, baby. That's that maturity and that good eating. That's that you married. I mean, you married well too. You married well.
Yeah. But man, let me tell you something, Bobby. Man, it was a great rivalry. It still is. Obviously on Saturday it's probably gonna be a blowout, but it's still a great rivalry. We always respected those guys from Florida State. I have really good friends that Terrell Buckley is my best friend. I met him after I beat him for the touchdown. A bunch of great guys. They're just great guys, man. It's just all about respect. It's been a great rivalry over the years. It's gone back and forth the last couple years. Obviously, I think college football will not be great until these two teams become back to the forefront. Right. That's when it was great. Those battles at high noon, it was hot out there. People were drunk. It was just what college football was made of.
Do you think so? Tell me more about sort of like you talked about T-Buck, one of your best friends, and you met him after you beat him for a touchdown. Give me just kind of a recap. What does game week look like this week between you, T-Buck, or anybody else from Florida State, knowing that it's game week, baby? Miami, Florida State. Give me some examples of the jabs being taken. Something tells me it's a jab or two being taken. What describe that?
I mean, these guys haven't returned calls this week. They kind of know. They ain't even picking up the phone. T-Buck putting in on work because he works at, he's a coach at Ole Miss. So he said, man, I got other things to do. Right. He on the phone. Corey Fuller changed his number. I mean, he probably going to Jackson State. So, I mean, it's just, they know what's going to happen. They won't admit it, but they know what's going to happen. They're not good.
I said the same thing this week, man. Somebody else put it on my page that college football needs Miami and Florida State to both be ranked in the top 10 going into, that rivalry week in order to really regain that luster of college football, man. For you, when you think of, and it's been said that you guys are where swagger started. When you took your helmet off against T-Buck, what's going through your mind when that swagger's coming out in the stadium? Because Miami didn't like nobody else, man. I gotta admit it. So does it happen in practice? Are y'all practicing what you're gonna do when you get into the end zone? Because them things are classics. Now those would be penalties now. I missed the excessive celebration. By the time I got there, they had changed it. So did y'all? How did all of that come about? Because it looked beautiful on Saturdays.
Well, we weren't like basketball players where you don't have a helmet on. So I saw Melvin Bratton do it years before I got to Miami. And I said, you know what? I want to be able to walk through the Dadeland Mall, the Aventura Mall, the Broward Mall, and people know who I am. So I said, well, hey, I'm wearing this 36. I'm tall and skinny. They still thinking it's Benny Blades number. Right. So I got to make people know that it's Lamar Thomas. So after every catch, I found some way to take my helmet off, fake like I had something in my eye or something because I wanted people to know who I was. And it wasn't even about the celebration. It was just like, that just became who I was. I just would take it off after every touchdown. And obviously it helped me too, as far as being able to talk noise to the other players. Because, a lot of times you got the mouthpiece in there. Actually, my senior year, I stopped wearing the mouthpiece because I had to be able to talk trash.
Right. So what we're going to do is, Superhero DJ John Quick, I know we're going to let you get out the building a little early today. So I'm going to peace out to you, man. We're going to take you off. Yeah, we'll see you next week, man. We're going to finish up this interview because it's too good not to let it go.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on the show, Lamar. No doubt.
Appreciate it.
So we have you in the building, man. Why I got you, man. I got to make sure we talk about a few other things when it comes to the University of Miami and Florida State. You know the history better than anybody, I would say, or just as well as anybody. Okay. What would you say is the best Florida State Miami game ever? When you look back on the history, which one would you crown as the best ever game?
It's just been so many. I mean,
it has, man.
That have come down.
Why right was a series.
Why right 1 and 2. There was the Shockey game where he called the game-winning touchdown. There's been a lot of great games, but the one that really stands out in my mind was the 31-0 victory my freshman year at the University of Miami. Florida State had Deion Sanders, Sammy Smith, a bunch of great players, first-round draft picks. They were number 1 in the country. I think we were like number 5 or 4 preseason, coming off a national championship. And they did this video where Deion's curl juice was flowing everywhere, not in everybody's eyes and stuff. And, they were talking about how great they were. And we went out there and beat them 31-0. And I'm going to tell you.
Does Deion talk about that game? Deion don't talk about that one now.
He won't talk about that one. He won't talk about that one. And to be honest with you, I really didn't know how great we were going to be or how good we were going to be. I was a freshman. And I watched these guys in practice, Randy Shannon and all these guys. They just look like average guys to me. They didn't look nothing special. And actually, my dad called me and said, hey, we're coming to the game. I said, Dad, I don't know, man. I don't know. They're number 1 in the country. I don't know if we can beat them.
Right.
All that changed. My thought process changed when we ran through that smoke. It was a different team. I had never experienced it. It was almost like when we ran through that smoke, I got this chill over my body like, we finna blow them out.
Right.
Like it was unbelievable. I knew
was that your first time? Well, you guys have always run through the smoke. But for a big game, that was your first Florida State Miami game running through the smoke.
That was my first game ever.
First game. And you knew at that moment.
Yes.
Wow.
So to run through that smoke, and it was like, whoa. I was like, oh, I felt like this super strength came over me. I wasn't playing. And actually, I couldn't see, and I almost ran to the Florida State side by mistake because I couldn't see.
Because of smoke.
But that's when I realized, man, that's a special place with special players, a special stadium, and it just added to the mystique of the Orange Bowl and that team.
I mean, it did, man. It did.
Great experience.
It did. And I'll say this, man, because I was a kid watching the smoke. Right. Yeah. And we ain't that, and when I say kid, in football years, 5 years is big. Right. So I'm watching and Benny Blaze was like a big brother to me. Yeah. I was raised with Al. Al was a week older than me. We was best friends since we was knee high to a duck. Benny and Brian, because I had big feet, which sent me shoes when I was in Little League. So that's family to me. That's literally family. So I'm watching Miami closely. But as a kid, it looked that way too. when you came through the smoke, I don't care what nobody else said. When you came through the smoke, something was different about that team. Mm-hmm. And so you just described it with the swagger. What was practice like in those years? Because you got a countless number of NFL guys. You got Hall of Famers that you played with. Yeah, I mean, like, so what was practice like? Was it as competitive? Was it as much trash talking? How was practice?
Practice was it was full speed all the time. It was competitive. People lost weekend money on one-on-one. People lost.
Oh, they gambling. They betting on one-on-one.
Cars. You beat somebody in one-on-one. You get to use their car for a week. I mean, it was some bragging rights. And the pro scouts used to come down to our practice, and they would always say they have never seen kids practice as hard. I mean, it was like a game every day. And the thing was, you were so afraid of the guy behind you that you turned it up every day. Yeah, I had a guy behind me. I had a guy behind me who ran a 4.28. His name was Kevin Williams.
Jesus, he was fast.
And I'd be damn, he was getting on the field.
Right. So I gotta make plays.
Until he got his chance. I wasn't gonna let him get on the field because I knew if I let him get on the field, I would never get it back.
Right.
So I mean, in practice, you sucked it up. You got hurt. You ain't tell nobody.
Right.
We ain't do the concussion protocol stuff. I might have been blacked out, but I ain't tell nobody because I
want this job. I'm trying to keep this job.
I got to keep my job because we were so stacked, 2-3 deep. Unlike today, that's why the Miamis and the Florida States aren't that good anymore because they've had to play kids as freshmen. They don't have the roster like they had because kids are going elsewhere. You can't stack, and you can't even grow your kids anymore. You can't even develop them. You know, you look at a team like Clemson, how different they look than a team like Miami because those guys have come up, freshman, sophomore. They probably had the red shirt. They just look different, and that's the way it was. I redshirted. Right. Most Michael Barrow, Darren Smith, they redshirted. You know, they played 17, 16 years in the league. Right. We all redshirted. But by the time we became seniors, hell, we only lost 4 games, won 2 national championships, played in 3 national championships.
Are you ready?
We were ready. We were ready.
Yeah. I think so. I said this when Miami whooped up on Notre Dame a few years ago. Mm-hmm. I said, my best friend, we grew up, my best friend, my dog, wore 56 because of Michael Barrow. Mm-hmm. I had the mask that you had. We call it a monster cage because I wore 22 because of my big brother, my biological brother, but I wore the face mask because of you. And so we was committed to Miami, loved them, man. But then I decided to go Notre Dame. So Notre Dame come down there and just wasn't ready for that atmosphere. It wasn't. I'm not giving it. I ain't saying it was old Orange Bowl atmosphere. It wasn't that, but for Miami, it was a good atmosphere. Turnover chain and all that.
Hey, let me tell you a quick story. So I was coaching at University of Kentucky at the time.
Yes, and you were a receiver coach.
We had a kid, a recruit that had committed to us. I come into work on Thursday, and they were like, "Hey, Jaron Williams going down to the football game." I said, "What football game?" The Miami Florida State game. The Miami Notre Dame game. I go, "He going down there?" They're like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, he gonna commit to him." Yeah. They go, "What?" I go, "He's gonna commit to him when he see that environment." I'm telling you, that's gonna be a game like no other. That environment's gonna be crazy. Notre Dame. I mean, it is gonna be unbelievable. And we got that call on Sunday.
You knew what it was.
I'm sorry.
You knew what it was. You knew what it was.
Yeah, I already told him. I had already told him. I'm sorry about that.
No. I love that because that's helping me to get to the question. The question was because my best friend, he talking trash and he all in my face. I had this big old, I forgot, I should have wore it today. I had this big old fake rope chain, big old 80, big old dookie chain, right? and
I ain't heard that since Luke's on Miami Beach.
You know what it is, baby. You know what I'm saying? I had my dookie chain on, and I kept saying somebody's chain gonna get snatched at the end of the game. So I'm talking trash. I went to Notre Dame, but I'm from Florida. We talking trash. Man, we got whooped, man. Whooped. So the only thing I could say after getting beat, they beat up 41-8 or something like that. The only thing I could say, as I say, but not so fast, man. This still ain't y'all ain't back. That ain't the Miami of don't give them credit so fast. They had a good game. They went on to lose to Pittsburgh and got whooped by Clemson, I think, in the ACC championship game. Where do you think the state and make sure stay within the family. Don't break your ground with the family. But honestly, where do you think Miami stands now under Manny Diaz compared to the swagger, the era, the camouflage pants, the taking the helmet off? Where is this University of Miami compared to that University of Miami as a football program?
Well, one thing that we learned at the University of Miami, we can speak, and so we're going to speak the truth. They're not
All
there.
right.
I mean, I don't care what anyone says. They're not there. And it's going to be hard to get there. And I don't even know where there is because there was back with these two national championship rings. You know what I mean?
I like show me them again. Let me get them again. I ain't never asked nobody. I like that. You flick me off, baby. I like that.
Flick them like that.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
So it's hard. Right now, I listen to fans and like, oh, we back after 2 wins. Come on, man. No, we're not back. Back to what? It's a different era. You have to grow this team. You have to develop this team. You have to win some games that maybe you shouldn't win, and you have to win the games you're supposed to win. And they have not done that yet. Looking back on Manny's first 2 years, this is actually the second year. He lost some games last year that he shouldn't have lost, like the FIU. So now you have to take all those things in effect, and it can't be about. I can't drink the Kool-Aid yet. I got to see you beat a Florida State team that's not good, and then have a great showing against Clemson, and then win after that. You know what I mean? I got to see that because, as you well know, there's so many gadgets and gadgets going on with the turnover chain and the turnover touchdown rings and all that. It is what it is. That's their new thing. God bless them. But you got to put some wins back to back. You got to have a winning season. Right. And you got to continue to build on that. You can't go 5-6 or 6-5, whatever they went last year, and not beat a Florida State team that's not good. You got to beat them. You got to make them know, even though it's a rivalry game, you got to beat them, and then go up to Clemson and be prepared and play a good game.
I think that Miami and Notre Dame are similar in that respect because the fans are dying for us to be air quote back. I said the same thing about Notre Dame. We've been in the Final Four 2 of the last 5 years or 4 years, but I still said that they ain't back. People looking at me like I'm crazy. And I said, if you take, and I use that Miami night as an example, if you take a team into that environment and they just not ready, they get whooped, something ain't right with that. Yeah. Because that's how you get the recruits. As you just described, Miami got a recruit that night. And so that's where Clemson and Alabama and LSU, they're in a different league right now because they're winning those games and they're getting those recruits. Best moment ever, University of Miami.
Ooh. Oh, man. I can tell you I had a lot of them, man. I mean, a great performance against Notre Dame, catching 2 deep passes on Todd Light. Ooh,
that's messed up. Why you gonna get my man T Light on here? That's messed up, man.
He was an All-American. I base my thing. I can't say it on some guy that's working at a car shop right now. I got to base it on a great guy. You know what I mean?
Right. T Light was a bad man. He was a bad man.
I was this sophomore, had 2 deep ones, had 120 something against Notre Dame. Beat T-Buck. I mean, you know what T-Buck was. T-Buck ended up being one of the greatest corners. Well, man, I mean, I had a lot of great moments, but the greatest moment to me was going back to school and getting my degree.
We don't have sound effects, but that's
yo, man. I appreciate you saying that, brother, and I appreciate you now. Because now you're a mentor and a coach to these other kids, and now we're at the point where we understand where the swagger was fun, making the plays was fun, but having an impact on life takes that degree. But we gonna finish with this, man. Let's just assume, let's pretend that the square that was superhero DJ John Quick, let's just pretend that's T-Buck. Let's just pretend that is Dion. And I want you to tell them, just describe what's going to happen this week. Describe Miami versus Florida State, what you think of those 2 programs. Let them know. Talk to them, man, because I'm going to make sure some Florida State people hear this. I've been seeing some people talk about the Seminoles. Somebody in the comments saying Seminoles.
I ain't talking about.
Go ahead and let us know.
I'm just saying, bro, your team. I mean, I think Mike Norvell is the guy for the job, but it ain't this year, and it might not be next year. It's gonna be a while, but I think he is the guy for the job. But
okay,
man, it's gonna be ugly. You know, it's supposed to be ugly, and if it ain't ugly, I'm gonna have some word with Manny Diaz and his staff about it because it needs to be ugly. I mean, you got a better team. You had a great showing against Louisville, and you know, I watched T-Buck and Derrick Brooks and Corey Fuller. I watched the game against Cliff Abraham. I watched the game against Georgia Tech, and no way y'all should have lost to Georgia Tech. Way. I don't care what their young quarterback did. Come on, black man, you need to step it up, get your mind right. But it ain't gonna be this weekend. I feel bad.
Not this week.
I just hope that you know, the plane ride is okay and everybody gets back home. Tallahassee, okay. You know, you
hit him with that one. Pope, baby. Bless his heart. Y'all just get home safe, baby. Baby, get home safe.
Bless his heart, baby. Get home.
Now, I know you from Gainesville, Buchholz, man. Yep. I'm from St. Thomas Aquinas. Great football in the state of Florida, man. Mm-hmm. Good luck this week. We'll all be watching. As we know, a lot of these young men grew up playing together from Sandlot, the Little League, the high school. So it's always fun to watch it, man. Your game prediction, what's the score? I know who you think gonna win because I see what you're wearing, but what's the score?
I'm predicting they should score at least 40 points on these boys. I say they put up. If they don't put up 40, I'm gonna be disappointed. After watching what they did at Louisville, and their offensive game plan they had against Louisville, they got a great thing going. I love their quarterback. I love their tight ends. The receivers need better, consistent play, but I'm thinking, and the running backs are great. So I'm putting up 40, and I'm gonna give Florida State. Miami got a good defense. Secondary, I need to see more linebackers. That D line is on point. They're gonna get some sacks. So I'm saying 40-2.
You gonna give him a safety?
I give him 2. This ain't the end of the game. 2 points. 2 points. We just let it go by head. Just
right. It's going to do something. Yeah. I love it. Oh man, thank you, brother, for coming on. Miami finally has a quarterback, so we'll see how that plays out, man. Brother, you have no idea, man. You shaped me as a player watching that 36 in the Miami jersey, man. I think far too often we let opportunities pass by to tell people face to face that we appreciate him, man. I appreciated you as a player and watching you grow as a man, and to hear you talk about as a graduate how that was the most important thing to you at Miami. Brother, keep doing your thing, man. As a father, coach, as a man, keep doing your thing. This is an honor to have you in the Ball Hall Sports Talk. You're gonna join us again. You know that, right? This ain't the last time.
No doubt.
Gotta have you back.
I enjoy watching. You shows.
Yeah. Everybody say that about her.
I thought I could talk. Yeah, her mouth, boy.
I sometimes I'll be thinking she's from Florida because she got that. Because of the way she spit that cat. Yeah, she got it, man.
Nah, I thank you. I appreciate that, but I'm a Jersey girl, Brick City all day. Yeah, but yeah, my mouth is certified trash. I don't give a shit.
All right, Lamar. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Look, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. That was a moment for me because that brother, man, to come on to the show is amazing. I'm humbled by it. He's just a good brother, man. And to hear him say his biggest moment, biggest memory from being at Miami, it wasn't the smoke. It wasn't catching touchdowns against T-Buck. It wasn't catching a whooping on Dion and catching against Patrick Terrell. While those were moments for him, he said his best moment was going back and getting his degree. So all you young men out there that want to appreciate the swagger, also appreciate the commitment and the obligation to graduate and do better, man. And with that, any parting shots you got, Miss Majestic Maya?
Vote,
and vote. I don't care what it is to get you to the poll. If it's the scribbles saying get your booty to the poll, then get your booty to the poll. I don't care what it is to get you to the poll, but you got to vote, and not just for the president, because that's an important vote as well. But if you don't like seeing an attorney general
who looks like you but ain't for you, vote.
Then you got to vote. If you don't like to hear a politician like Lindsey Graham say one thing and say, I'm on the record, mark the tape or whatever he said. Keep the tape and then do a complete about face. Then you got to vote. Simple and plain. And that's all I got. With that, we out. It's the Ball Hog Sports Talk with your boy B Brown ESQ, aka the Ball Hog, aka the Mouth of the South, aka Mr. Excessive Celebration. We have the Maverick, Miss Majestic Maya, the Maestro. He had stuff to do, but he gave us a good show. We out, y'all. Make sure y'all like. Please, we ask you to like, comment, and share. Like, comment, share. Won't cost you nothing but 2 seconds, and you'll be doing a world of favors for us in the sense that we can keep on spreading this content. Please like, please comment, please share. Enjoy y'all weekend. Be blessed. Be safe. For the families that have been affected by the 207,555 deaths related to coronavirus, COVID-19, we say you're in our prayers. And that's last count as of right this second, 207,555. Be safe, y'all. This pandemic does not care about your ideology, your race, your creed. It's killing everybody. So be safe. With that, we out, y'all. Peace.